When it comes to studying in France, there are different ways you can go about it, but as this video is concerning Campus France, so that's going to be our focus of today. Hello guys, welcome to the channel. If it's the first time you're seeing my face on your screen, my name is Willie. I'm a content creator living in Paris, France, and on my channel I share content on study abroad, especially as it pertains to France, life in France, and few times I do share vlogs as well. So if it's the kind of things that you're interested in or you just like to have more information about, kindly do stick behind by subscribing, liking the video, sharing. This is going to really encourage the channel and help as many persons as possible to have access to this information. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you step-by-step procedure on Campus France. I am proposing these videos because from my exchanges with many persons, I know that this could be a struggling point, and sometimes it's not really so easy to really understand what process to follow when it comes to Campus France in terms of selecting schools. Okay, what should I really do? What are the different processes as it pertains to you when you are applying to schools in France, be it for your master's studies or for your bachelor's. And I'm also proposing this video in advance because from October 2025 or October of whatever year you are going to be watching this video, for sure you're going to need it, it's going to be useful. So what's better way to prepare in advance for your study abroad plans than by watching this video? When it comes to studying in France, there are different ways you can go about it, but as this video is concerning Campus France, so that's going to be our focus of today. Campus France is actually a government agency that actually supports students who wish to come to study in France. It's actually like the link between international students and schools in France. So that's actually, if I just want to give a simple definition of Campus France. So there are actually 72 countries that are being affected by this procedure. 72 countries. I'm going to put the links, all the links that are going to lead you to confirm the information I'll be sharing in this video. I'm going to leave it in the description, so do well to check the description to have more information about, to confirm or to do further research concerning this. So there's 72 countries involved in this, and to know them in details, please look at the link. Nigeria, of course, is one of them, and other African countries. I think the USA is also part of it, and also different countries. Please do well to look at it to confirm if your country is part of the countries that are affected by this study abroad procedure. Okay, thank you. So basically, the Campus France procedure is known as Etudes en France, EEF procedure. So don't be confused when you go on Campus France and you're seeing the writing Etudes of France and then you're confused. That's actually what the platform that you use to apply to school, that's what it's called. So if you see me looking below, just know I have my notes and I'm just reading some of the points just to make sure I don't forget anything. So the first step is that when you go on Etudes of France, you create your account on Etudes of France. I'm going to use Nigeria as a case study here because that's where I'm from, and I've also used the system before, so it will be easier for me to explain to you, but of course it can be applicable whatever the country you come from. So you create your account on the Etudes of France platform and you upload your document. First of all, it's going to first be like your personal information. That's going to be the first step, like your name, your address, your international passport. And then normally Campus France, once they validate your page, like validate it, you now upload the other document. That other document you now have to upload. The other documents is really like your transcript, your CV, your statement of purpose. For some of them, you'll be asked to upload that. And also, for sure, Campus France, they're going to ask you to pay a non-refundable fee of 50,000. But this usually comes at the point where you have already selected the schools that you wish to go for. That's where you are going to be required to pay this non-refundable fee. For Nigeria, as of today, is 50,000 non-refundable fee. That's like your service charge they're going to charge you. And then at the end, you're going to have like academic interview that is normally in the following year, and then you wait for your university responses. Once accepted, you proceed to the visa process. So this is just like a summary of the Campus France procedure. Now I'm going into detail about applying through Campus France because that's the main essence of this video. So on Campus France website, once your file is validated, you'll be required to choose for a master's program. You are free to choose 7 master's program. It's not compulsory you have to fill the 7, but you can take advantage of it since it's possible for you to select 7 courses. You can have some from the same university, that's not a problem, but the main thing is that there should be 7 different courses that you select for a master's program, and for the bachelor's program, there are 3 different bachelor's programs that you can select. So sometimes what's difficult is actually searching or finding the course you want to study. That's sometimes what's the problem, because sometimes what's written on the school's website is not exactly the way it's written on Campus France website, and this can cause confusion. But one thing I've observed is that in most of the schools, well, they're writing, like giving you like the procedure to apply. You just scan through the website, you see like PDF that is detailing the procedure for you to use to apply, admission procedure. They're going to give you like an index to help you identify this course on Campus France website. So try to pay attention to that while going through the school's website. Another thing that I do when I'm looking through it, when I go on the search button, I just first of all, either I search using the name of the school, because for you to select the school, that means you already have an idea of what you're going for. I select using the name of the school, or I use the name of the course. So for example, let's say I'm going for industrial engineering. So I search industrial engineering. Most likely they're going to bring out all the different schools that are offering industrial engineering. I go to the master's section of what I want to do, English dot program, use an English dot program, and I can easily like select drop down, and then I'm able to see the one I'm going for. Or if I'm using the school, I'm going to use drop down the different masters, and I'm able to select the one I'm going for. So these are ways that you can use to find your master's program, because yes, I understand it's always confusing, it's not always directly the same. In most cases you can see some changes, so please pay attention to these different places that you can easily find how to identify the one you are looking for. Okay, so that is it. So when once you select your 7 schools, you go back to the other procedure I was referring to. So these are for mostly public schools. Part of those 7 schools, you could have ones that they make it mandatory that when once you do your Campus France procedure, you also do a separate procedure with them, and this you're going to see it appearing as like as a drop down there when you're applying. This school requires an additional admission procedure. They always note it there if the school requires. If not, for schools that don't require an additional admission procedure, you won't be required to do. So in cases like that, if you have an acceptance from Campus France, it's also a must that the school also accepts you. They always put that condition there for you that, oh, the admission is going to be unconditional only if the school also accepts you on their own profile. So this is like in few cases where the school require a double procedure. In other schools, once you apply through Campus France, it's okay. So that's the first scenario, A and B. So the second scenario now is actually for schools that don't actually necessitate you to apply through Campus France. So in schools like this, that are mostly business schools, some engineering schools like the one I went to, some art schools as well. They don't require you to apply through Campus France. Those ones you can apply directly through the school on the school's portal, which is mostly called e-candidate. It's like e-candidates, like online candidate profile, if I just want to say it in English. So normally you go there, you can apply directly to them. I know schools like Toulouse school, they allow you to apply. Grenoble, they allow you to apply. Most business schools, like I mentioned, you apply directly to them. In cases like this, like the business schools, some of them they'll ask for an application fee, which could range from like 50 euros upwards. In some cases, you can always email and explain, oh, okay, if it's not possible, if you're not you don't have the means to provide for an application fee, because I know sometimes it could be worrisome that you're not really sure if this is the school you're going to go with, and then you pay for an application fee. But if you know, okay, this is the school I really want, and then it's not possible for them to waive the application fee, why not take a chance? I know some top engineering schools that they asked to pay application fee. I did pay and I got, because I know this is what I really wanted. So these are the cases with some of the Grand École or the business schools that they'll ask you to apply directly to them. And in these cases, if your country is affected with Campus France, the only part where you need to go to Campus France will not be for your visa procedure, because be it you're in category 1 where it's a must, you have to apply through them, or in category 2 where you don't have to apply through them, at your visa stage you will still go through them. So I don't even understand. So that's the last phase, the visa stage. There's no how you're going to escape Campus France if your country is affected by Campus France and you are in that country, like you are resident in that country or you are resident outside of France. For sure, you still need to go to Campus France. I don't know if that's clear. If you have any question at this point, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section, or check out other of my videos where I did explain details or I gave some examples with schools and so on, and I hope that is going to help you. Okay, now that that is clear, note that if you are going for an English taught program, in some of the schools, they'll ask you to provide like an English exam like TOEIC or something that just proves your English level. They'll ask, but in most cases, if you are coming from a country, an English speaking country, or if you did your degree all through in English, you can always, that can be exempted. Most of the time, it's not like a mandatory document. You only click it if it applies to you, like if you're not taught in English. In the French taught programs, always note please when you're looking at the schools if it's English taught or French taught, so that you'll not fall into something you did not plan for. In the French taught program, normally they'll ask for like a French exams, like the DELF exams, the DALF or the TCF exams. And from what I've seen, it's always either a level B1 or a level B2. So in that case, if you are coming from like a non-French speaking country or sometimes even French speaking country, they can ask you for this. But especially it's always pertaining to non-French speaking countries. They'll surely ask you for these exams to be sure that the program you are going for, that you'll be able to excel, or it will not be so hard for you. So if your dream has always been to come to France, to study in France, to learn French, then you should already start now to prepare, knowing that you are going to need a French exams if you are going to study a French taught program. Another thing I can add to this point is that most of the French taught programs, like the programs that are being taught in French, that they are cheaper as well, like because they have subsidized fees, or the fees are subsidized by government. So you always find some programs that are some master's programs that are taught in French being far more cheaper than those ones that are taught in English. So that's another thing, another advantage of speaking French and coming to France to study. So maybe if it's really your desire, why not plan now and maybe take up the challenge to study a French taught program. So that's another tip I can give to you to help in your decision making. Important timelines that you should note is that in most cases, in countries that are affected with Campus France, is always going to be open from October to December in most cases. Like Nigeria, for example, immediately either is 30th November or 1st December they end. But I remember there was a year that they went up until 15th December. I hope that they can always extend the timeline and make it longer. Honestly, I feel it's going to help a lot of persons, because sometimes people just realize later, oh, France can actually be an option for me to come study, and by the time they realize, they have like lesser options of schools to apply to. So if you are thinking of going to France, please note the date, this timeline, so that will help you in planning and not just to realize later that, oh, it's over. And another timeline you should note is that from January to March of the next year, that's when the interview process starts. Like if you have already applied through them, you already can book schedule appointments for your interviews, and most of the cases it's always physical interviews, not online interviews. At least for the case of Nigeria, it's always physical interviews that they'll offer to you. And here I have a video already detailing some of the questions you can be asked, so don't hesitate to check out that video on the interviews that you could the interview questions you can be asked. And just to add to this timeline as well, for those schools in the second category I mentioned where you can apply directly to them, some of them it is now during this January to March you'll be required to send in your applications. For majority of them, of course, there are ones that you can still apply directly to them right from like October, December up until like May, but in most cases they have a very short timeline, and that's always within this January to March where you can apply directly to them. So please note the schools that you're applying, check the website, set a reminder to remind you so that you don't miss out on the timeline if you are planning to apply. And another timeline you should note is like from April to May for the schools that are directly linked to Campus France. This is most likely the time that the decisions will start coming. You receive either yes or no. So you'll be checking your Campus France portal to see if you have gotten a response yet or not. Another timeline you should note is within May to July. May to July is the time where you start applying for your visa. For me, I would say from June to August. That's depending on when you are starting. The main thing you should note with your visa application, apart from the whole timeline thing, is that you should apply for your visa within 3 months to your starting date. So for example, if your school is resuming in September, which is most likely the time when majority of the schools resume, apart from few that maybe they resume in October, You should start applying for your visa within June, July, August. It's still a good period. Let's not be that your school is starting like mid-September and then you start applying for your visa early May or in April. It doesn't make sense. It can actually lead to a rejection of your visa procedure. So instead, if you have gotten a response since like April, for example, use that period to start preparing for your documents, making sure your proof of funds is okay, you have all your documents you need, the insurance, the airline, the flight, and everything. Just make sure your document accommodation, especially, is use that period to start preparing so you can apply in June, July time. That is just my personal advice. Of course, you are free to go with whatever you want. So these are the timelines that you should take note of if you are planning to come to study in France, and especially if you are affected by the Campus France procedure. If you have watched this video up to this point, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. I hope this video was useful to you and you'll be able to make a more informed decision about your study abroad project. If so, please do like this video, comment, share, and please do subscribe so that you continue to have notification anytime I upload a new video, and also to follow me on this journey in France. Thank you so much and see you in my next video. Bye.